Hi everyone, I'm Calmejane. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer of Société Générale. And my job is to reinvent the future and to look out the outlook of financial services in the next 10 to 15 years. I'm an IT engineer by background, and I've spent the last 15 years to work with the business to harness the power of data and technology for these transformations. So digital, data, tech have played a key role in my work and in my life. I'm an IT engineer, as I mentioned, and I started to work in Capgemini Consulting to really translate for the business how can you harness technology and tech advantages. And I've done that in several sectors, government, airline, and financial services. And then I went on to publish a groundbreaking research at MIT on digital transformation and this very topic. And it was in 2011, and it seems not very far, but actually I interviewed about 150 CEOs at this time, and most of them, even didn't have a laptop. It was really the beginning of this transformation, and look how the world have completely changed around us. Then I went 7 years to work in one of the largest banks in the world, Lloyds Banking Group in the UK, where we went from 1.5 million clients online to 18 million clients online, selling about 80% of their product online. On Christmas, we were transacting more than on Amazon in the UK. So it was completely changing our life. And 3 years ago, I came back in France to do this job at Société Générale, reporting to Frédéric Oudéa, our CEO. And it was an opportunity to do it in a bigger and different environment with a variety of business. And as a mom of 2 kids and a half, because I'm actually pregnant, digital in my life, I've really facilitated this communication because I have to travel a lot, and being in touch, through WhatsApp with my family, with my kids, having nuggets, of what they are doing, being in touch with, the teachers. For me, digital is really an opportunity to give the knowledge to everyone and be accessible, be in my work, but also in my day-to-day life. So as a C-level executive, actually I had a lot of challenges, but I'm not sure, they are totally related to being a woman. The first one when you are C-level is obviously, the work-life balance is critical. Where do you put your time? How do you find purpose? How do you support transformation and engage yourself and your whole self, at work in consistence with your values? In my work, I will say, I'm facing 3 main challenges. The first one is really around how do you make, startup collaborating with corporates? How do you make this blend and work? The second one is how do you harness the power of data to be, really an efficient company delivering values for colleagues and for customers? And the last one is how do you build diverse team? Because in the transformation we are undertaking, be in digital transformation or be in CSR transformation, so transformation around climate change, governance change, environment change, you need a lot of different skills. You need people that have more experience, younger people, technologists, and you need to make sure they have a common language around how they work. And this diversity is absolutely critical, and we can see in McKinsey research that companies that embrace the diversity are performing in average 48% better. Now the data is there. When you are talking about challenge around women, it remains that the gender pay gap, to close the gender pay gap, it's going to be around 257 years. It means that I will never see it in my life. And there is various data around COVID also that are showing that a lot of women have to quit their job or were impacted in their job in order to take care of childcare. So we still have a long way to go, and it's great to have the type of opportunities with UNESCO in order to tackle this challenge together. I think digital is an amazing field, in order to fulfill your potential if you are a young girl or a young boy, because, there are so many skills that you learn around technology, data, business skill, e-commerce. In the day-to-day, we hire hundreds of people per year in order to support our transformation, and yet we are only at the beginning. I was telling you, in a very pragmatic level, we work very closely with hackathons such as Teens in AI or Girls Can Code, to coach young girls between 14 to 16 years old to embrace a career in technology and to be successful in the large opportunities I have mentioned. And I think one of the key advantages of digital is the fact that the knowledge is accessible to everyone and can really start to build up confidence, build up knowledge, and transform our lives. So digital is also a very strong lever in order to facilitate integration of various people that have different backgrounds, and we're working very closely in France, but different locations, with young people, with people coming from diverse backgrounds in order for them to set up their startups, but also, with programs such as Women in Tech, a challenge we are building with 15 Tech and Vivatech Technology to select. So this year we had about 500 applications, 378 that were completed, and we will go to the process to select 10, and Société Générale will work with the winner in order to make sure their business can flourish and be successful. So just one example. So my advice will be to dare, dream, and act. I was the first woman IT engineer in my class, so we were 1% in the total of the promotion, but I was the only one. And I dared to continue this work, to be the woman that was there. I dreamed about changing big things in the world, and I ended up to have this position in the management committee of Société Générale, one of the biggest banks in the world, today making decisions that are supporting our colleagues and our customers in their day-to-day life, and yet we are only at the beginning. I am still dreaming. And then I act. I think it's essential in the day-to-day to be engaged, to be working with you to promote career in STEM, to be a role model and to be visible and to count, because the reality is for women to matter, you need to count them.